Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. This one's located on the east spawn of Sand River Encounter, and it's under the command of 27 Bagpuss. Now his vehicle is armed with a 155mm howitzer, mounted on top of a Walker Bulldog hull, and it's capable of 550 Alpha, penetrating 39mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 7 meters. Okay, well, this is probably the most profitable non-premium tank in the game, especially at tier 6. It nearly always makes a profit if you can play it well. Now he's platooned with the Super Hellcat on his team. Let's see if the Super Hellcat can give him some help. Well, there are some enemy tanks in sight, but it looks like they've gone straight down into the riverbed, while some other enemy are sitting up on top of the dunes. His first shot is a very good one, and the Super Hellcat liked that. He actually damaged the AMX 12 ton and the CS 44 because they were both together at the same time. That's what we call double bubble. Okay, he's lined up, rounds out. Another good shot. 132 off the CS 44, and he got a further 78 hit points off the T29. Well, he's changing position, and normally you do that to avoid counter battery because obviously the enemy knows where you can be located. Usual firing spots, and well, he was out in the open where he was, so he could have been spotted, but instead what he's opted to do instead is go into this area we call the bowl and fire from here. Now there are some drawbacks to being in the bowl because enemy Arty might look for you there and they might see the tracer. Okay, he's focusing on these targets, but he's dialed in, but he then immediately after the target goes unsighted, instead of sticking around, he actually then goes to the next available target, which is an IS-2 shielded. Fires around at him, but he's on fast and on the move, which means that he misses the guy and only does 50 hit points of splash. I'd say as well, one of the things he's doing is he's moving the gun about too quickly. What you need to do is move it much slower, because that way you won't get so much reticule bloom. He fires a blind shot there at the T29. AMX 12 ton. There's that T3485 again. Now work out where the enemy's going. He's stopping back there to reload, then he pulls forward to shoot, and then he goes back again. And that Skoda's almost out of hit points. And instead of sticking with those targets, he's actually aiming back down to the river valley. And I'm a bit concerned about that because you're swapping. First you're going up north, then going up that south, then north, then south, and you're wasting a lot of time moving between your different zones. Stick with one zone, focus on that, expedite the tanks that are in the zone, and you see you lost sight of those guys now, so you've got no shot up here, and all the time you spent up here in the north shooting at the enemy, no damage. Rounds out on the T3485, but no damage. So you see, wasted about 15 to 20 seconds there looking for a target, but didn't find one. T20 is going in to attack our T20. Or he's going in face to face. That shot was a little too late. The guy was moving quite fast, so you need to lead the target enough. But now he's face hugging the other T20. And the worry here is if you fire too close at one of your teammates, and you might accidentally lose your high caliber. He fires around at the T20, which lands short, and luckily it doesn't stun his teammate, which means that he's able to kill the T20, and 27 Bagpuss saves his high caliber. But yet again, he's looking up to the north, then to the south, and to the north again. I'd say you need to focus in one area. Don't keep flitting around from one area to the other. When you've got targets you can definitely hit. And there's definitely targets in the riverbed at this moment that you can hit. Now the tanks are coming down from the northeast corner because they've killed all our teammates up there. and he's aiming at a Super Hellcat. He fires a round in, it lands short. And all the time he's invested in shooting in this area is now wasted because he's lost sight of the target. He fires a round in blind, but he can't see if the target's there, so he's wasted about 20 to 30 seconds shooting to the north when he could have been hitting this guy in the KV-2, who took out, I think, our KV-2. Lining up a shot. Can he get this guy? Should be able to. Rounds out. Got a good hit, 169. There's another target up there, CS44. He's using that rock for cover, so he's rocking backwards and forwards on the same spot. So work out where he is when he's pulling forward to shoot, and then shoot at that spot, not at where he is. You're following the target too closely. Okay. The enemy in the riverbed has actually pulled out now, and he's not looking at that. Instead, he's now aiming towards an Achilles. Now, it's a good target because they've got an open top turret, but it's right at the other end of the battlefield. Rounds out. Pulls back. Well, we see it's a penetrating round for 604 hit points. And we lost our teammate in the riverbed. And he's lost sight of both of those two tanks there, so he's wasted all that time. T-29 goes down. We've got an enemy T-34-85 lining up the shot. Let it dial in. Let's see, you should be able to get that. Yes! That's a good kill. Now you can see those guys in the riverbed again, so focus on those until they're out the game. SU-152's down. There's the Skoda. Line up the shot behind him. He's going to pull back. That's it. Rounds out, and you've missed him. But you've still got 60. But we know there's a CS-44 somewhere in the riverbed, but we've got nobody to spot it except the Panther or the Type 64, and they're both too far away to actually do anything at the moment. To the north, we've got an IS-2. I think the Panther spotted him because he's up on the swatting hill. He's firing at the IS, and our shot shoots over the top of him. And now from 27 back, puts his position in the bowl. He's going to have difficulty shortly. Yep, he's got a partial obstruction there caused by the rock face, but he loads, shoots the Super Hellcat, and gets the kill. I think that was a penetrating round, that one. Now the IS-2 has moved into cover behind that rock. And our Panther, when he's still there, spotting for us. Can he get around behind that rock? I think that would have splashed the IS-2. He might have picked up some hit points, but he certainly stunned the guy. When he comes out from behind that rock, we should be able to get a decent shot at him at last. He's focusing on this guy because he's too close, and he knows full well that that guy can actually damage him. Instead, he's now looking at the cap. Focus on the IS-2. That's it. The IS-2 just killed our Panther, but he should be able to kill this guy the moment he gets into sight. Yes! That's it. Focus on one thing at a time. Don't try and do too much, because you won't do anything if you try to do too much. KV-2, he's a one-shot. He's pulling back. Work out where he's going to be. Lead the target as he reverses. And round out. This should hit. And he does. Another kill. 4 kills now. There's 2 in the cap. They've got a CS-44 and an 88. There's the CS-44. Line up the shot. Let it dial in. Rounds out. Oh, bad RNG. The shell goes long. And he misses the target. But we know where he is. He's backing up. This Type 64 fires in and gets the kill. Now, where is the other target? It's an 88. There he is. Lines up the shot. Rounds out. Direct hit. 139. It's tracked him. The Type's gone behind him. And it's now giving him surprise butt sex. Yes! And that's the end of the game. So 4 kills for 27 Bagpuss and 4 kills for the Type 64 who survived the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's an ace tanker for 27 bagputs, and not only an ace tanker, it's his first ace tanker in the M44. We all remember what that was like the first time you aced this little Arty, because it's so much fun. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 19. A Gore's medal for doing more damage and exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall. And a Confederate fitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And you can have to scroll the page to see all the damage he did do in that game. His win rate in the battle was 9,529, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Highest damage, 2,841 hit points of damage, easily the highest, because the next high scorer was the T29 with 2,272, and then 2,229 to the Panther. When it came to kills, he shares the top spot with the Type 64. They both got 4 kills, and the Type 64 managed to get the scout in that one as well, so he spotted more of the enemy than anyone else on our team. And the Boogie, he got a Leather Slayer's medal in that game as well. When it came to base XP, it's Bagpuss, yes, and technically that means he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,303 base to him, the only player to get over 1,000 base, 962 to the Panther, 875 to the Type 64. He fired 23 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits, 1 penetration, that was the Achilles, and 23 splash. Damage of 2,841 hit points, of which 2,646 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 12 of the enemy. That means there was only 3 enemy tanks he didn't touch during that battle, and killed 4 of them. That's a third of that number. And 1,063 hit points of stun assist off 20 stuns, plus 59 defense points when he reset the 88 in the cap. On a premium count, he earned 55,797 credits from that game, and after ammunition resupply took away 44,182 credits. He also earned 25 bonds from the battle and 1,954 XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But he did say an intense battle in the desert, ace, high caliber, Gore, Confederate and fighter. Well, it was a very good game, but there were a few mistakes you made, and I know you'll take this to heart because I'm actually trying to be constructive criticism. I'd say what you're doing is you're moving your attention from one side of the battlefield to the other side and then back again without actually doing anything in between. So you're wasting between 20 to 30 seconds whilst you're looking at the other side of the battlefield, but you're not getting any reward out of it. The idea is actually to focus on one area of the battlefield which is critical, get rid of the opponents that you can in that area before you move on to another target. If you can see that there is a definite advantage to shooting in a different area because there's a lot of targets there and they're easy to hit, then do move to that area, but try to focus on one area at a time, and you'll actually end up with more damage overall on a game. But in this one, it really did help that you did do as much damage as you could, and you certainly earned those medals in this game, and I'm sure the Type 64 was very happy, as well as your platoon mate in the Super Hellcat. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.